I also like Press for Truth. He's not a bad channel. Dan Dix again, found him off my old Mare T. There's only one of two things going on here. One is that they paraded this guy out to cause these types of videos and to affect everyone and, you know, get all their emotions all wound up. Or if someone said to me, all right, we need you to discredit this fucking new trans thing, this is what I'd do. I'd go extreme and make it look ridiculous. This guy could be on our side. Fair income. All right, let's get into this one about Bob. So by Bob, obviously I mean Bob Brown. What's he up to here? You know, looks like he's in his element. He's in a forest. Well, it's fast becoming not a forest.
This logging zone, look at the mess. And I think it's illegal. At least there's no public record that they were licensed to log this. But the contractors have just been to the camp. They've gone away. I suppose the police will come next, not to arrest the people destroying this habitat of so many vulnerable animals against the laws of nature, but to arrest the defenders of nature.
Permanent timber production zone land that was proclaimed as state forest pursuant to section 14 of the Forestry Act 1920 and is now under section 22(5) of the Forest Management Act 2013.
We've seen the plan.
You
can take it up with
the plan is not available. I don't want to be...
Robert, listen to me.
No, you listen to me.
You're not in Parliament now.
Well, officer, look, we all appreciate that anyone in Parliament doesn't get arrested, doesn't get investigated. You guys, it's off limits for you guys, but just sort of don't say it around out in public. Don't make that admission, especially in front of a camera.
Listen to me. You've been given a direction. Do you plan on leaving the area?
Listen to this guy, big talking. I've given you a direction. Do you plan on leaving the area? Well, problem the cops got, although he just ignores it, probably he should have, is that they can't just say, ask you to drop your pants, bend over. They can't give you arbitrary directions. There's got to be some legislative instrument or reason or justification.
Can you show me that this logging is...
you plan on leaving
I don't want to be falsely arrested by you two officers or you, Dion.
Plan, it's authorised, you leave now, take it up.
Would you show me the plan that you have seen? Because I've not seen a plan showing that this logging...
Rubbish. Bob Brown Foundation would have applied and received the plan.
No, Bob Brown, let me tell you directly, Bob Brown Foundation asked for the plan but has been refused it by Forestry Tasmania.
So the legal justification to arrest Bob and move him on is apparently this plan that approves the chopping down of this forest. And it's not publicly available. And Bob's tried to get it. The cop said, oh, you would have. The cop, like he's lying. But Bob's position here is that you've got no justification to, like, they can't just give a direction without showing you the justification for it. They can't just say there is. They've got to demonstrate to you. That's the whole, legal process, due process.
Well, you take it up with Forestry Tasmania.
I'm taking it up with you, officer.
Take it up with Forestry Tasmania.
No, you must ascertain
Robert,
that
are you prepared to leave the area?
that this
Robert,
is legal logging.
Robert, are you prepared to leave
I'm
the
not
area?
prepared to leave these swift parrots and this destruction, this international disgrace of this logging.
You're not interested in the swift parrot.
God, there's his arrogant meathead going on. He says, we're not interested in a sweet parrot. He chases his tune in a second, by the way. But what he's saying to there, he's not saying about the swift parrot. He's saying to Bob, okay, you haven't seen a justification. I'm not going to produce it. And even though you've got an argument, I'm dismissing it. I'm not interested.
So you're interested in stopping
you should
logging.
be. You should be for your own children's sake, officer.
If you're interested in
and so should you, Dion.
With parks to remove the non-indigenous species of sugar gliders, which feed on swift parrots.
Well, how would he know the swift parrot's fate in that detail? He just said, we don't care about swift parrots. Well, that just contradicts what he's going on with here. Bob should have said, Cop's got a good point. What he should have said was, well, what's the point of removing sugar gliders if all the trees are gone? There are no swift parrots here.
Well,
leave the area now or be arrested.
The swift parrots have just flown over me. I haven't seen a sugar glider anywhere here. But if you're arguing for Forestry Tasmania, be that on your head. I believe if you arrest me here, it will not be legal.
Well, I'd agree with Bob that this cop hasn't demonstrated that he's got the justification to use the power to move him on, because until they get their report, it probably is illegal.
So I put that on your head.
Are you intending to leave or do you wish to
I'm
leave?
intending to stay here in defence of the swift parrots,
Brown,
the
you're
marsh
under arrest.
owls and this forest.
Pass. Waddle out.
Fine, officer, you don't need to manhandle.
Oh, that triggered that meathead. As soon as he said, I'm staying here. Oh, you're defying me. I am the supreme power. You will do what I say. I can marches straight over to him, grabs him. Bob did the right thing there. I've watched a video on a guy called Graham who wrote and sang a song, Hoax Train. It was about, casting doubts on an event that involves a number 6 and million. Anyway, not getting arrested for it, And they were talking about it on a radio show. And what he did was, he said, I am not assisting or resisting. And they didn't go into too much detail, but I can see the benefits of that are that by saying I'm not assisting, in other words, you're expressing that you do not consent, and you're not resisting to try and, reduce what they did down in Victoria. I know they would arrest someone, and because they can't put them before the courts for anything to do with the COVID, they would rough them up a bit, and when they reacted, even if they just brushed an officer, they would go, assault, and they would put them up for that. I did give consideration that this might have been, one of their staged operation, and Bob's turned up and read out some lines, but I'm going to, on the balance of probability, there's always a possibility, but on the balance of probability, I'm going to call it as legit, because this is what he's always done all throughout his whole, it's been his whole thing, is been into Greens. I used to regard him not that highly. I used to think he's a bit radical. God, the lefties of the past, the Greens of the past, they're now, especially over in America, like Jimmy Dore and all that, they're going, oh, hang on a minute. He's on Tucker Carlson now, going, we got to get together. These guys are fucking nuts. And that's Bob. He's your old style lefty. You might disagree with him, but he's genuine. He means what he says. I'll just finish up. I'll leave something at the end here to do with the name Bob. Whenever, it's funny how just a couple of scenes in a TV show could stay with you for the rest of your life. Bob.
Bob. Yes. Well, Bob, welcome on board.